The colonies of benevolence represent one of the earliest initiatives to exterminate poverty on a national scale. Based on the ideas of the Enlightenment, 7 agricultural colonies were established, a utopian concept to re-educate the poor and the needy. These cultural landscapes of the colonies of benevolence in the Netherlands and Belgium have been nominated as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The landscapes can be recognized by these features or attributes: the fact that there are free and unfree colonies, the structure of the landscape, building and planting that is representative of this social experiment. But how did this initiative come about? The Netherlands, about 200 years ago. Napoleon had left the newly founded United Kingdom of the Netherlands in a state of crippling poverty. A third of the population, 2 million people, are poor and unable to provide for themselves. That had to change. The question was, how? A group of prominent Dutch citizens proposes a utopian plan that even by today's standards is exceptional in both scale and impact. Idealist Johannes van den Bos is prepared to actually realise the scheme with the support of the government and the king.
We establish settlements far from the main cities, in the northern and southern Netherlands, which are sparsely populated and where there are large areas of land not yet used for cultivation. From all over the country, we bring the city's poor and needy together there to clear the uncultivated land ready for farming, so that they can grow their own food. The combination of work, discipline, education, healthy country air and religion will do them good and return them to society as better people. Man forms the landscape, and the landscape shall form the man.
In the so-called free colonies, paupers lived with their families in small houses with a piece of land. In the unfree colonies, vagrants, beggars and orphans lived in groups in large square institutions. 7 colonies of benevolence were founded in 7 years. The new residents cleared 80 square kilometres of uncultivated land and tree-lined alleys were constructed. All of this followed a linear structure designed by Johannes van den Bos. This attracted considerable international interest and visitors. There was a high level of public services in the colonies of benevolence: a health insurance fund, care for the elderly, a hospital, agricultural training, and compulsory education for boys and girls from the age of 6. While in many European countries and in the Netherlands and Belgium, this would not be regulated by law for another 100 years. But the large-scale and utopian experiment turned out differently than expected. As the 19th century progressed, utopian idealism was replaced by pragmatism. The idea was to return the colonists to society as better citizens, but in practice, it often didn't work out that way. In the unfree colonies, the focus shifted from eradicating poverty to tackling vagrancy, treating mental health issues and even traditional criminality. This stigmatized the people who lived in the colonies. Nonetheless, some 100,000 people were re-educated here. Today, at least 1 million people are descended from them. The cultural landscapes of the colonies of benevolence are still clearly recognizable. The straight tree-lined alleys and the structured landscape, and of course the mottos on the facades of the historic buildings, the majority of which are still standing, some of which have gained new functions. 14 parties in the Netherlands and Belgium work together on the World Heritage nomination of the colonies of benevolence. Residents, companies, farmers and land managers in the areas are intensively involved. Current European legislation, that of the Netherlands and Belgium, and the policy of the provinces and municipalities aim to conserve the colonies of benevolence. The areas have been given the highest possible level of protection. In brief, this is a living landscape in which people live and work.
Mumba.